There's probably like 100 messages already.
Oh, there's a bunch. JB's here, Auto Salvage Outlaws, Barrows. Now, that's a good crew all in itself right there.
Hey, there's JB's little shop.
Yep. First Responders Garage is only 15 subscribers away from being eligible. So he's got a pinned link up there. If you're not yet subscribed to him, check him out. 2 words, Roots Blower. That's all you got to know, right? But,
well, I just talked to JB's little shop today, the guys over at JB's shop.
Oh, yeah?
Lars. Yeah, and well, actually I just talked to Jesse, right? But they're gonna pilot the monkey bike.
Awesome.
So we're gonna work it out, get it dropped off sometime next week, and they're gonna take it from there.
Jockey driver is spoken. We've got 13 subscribers to go for First Responder Garage. NSB's in the house. Oh, yeah. Lots of they hang out in here for like sometimes an hour before. So Tall Garage is here. We've got Smacky's Garage in the house. Creedence Chrysler Revival. Unfinished Project. Dart Sport. Unity Motorsports Garage. Andy's here. I think he's got withdrawals because Casper's not there. I think it's giving him heartburn. I literally tried to check in on him today. Man, are you okay? Because I know that not having Casper there, it's got to be just a tough feeling.
Cringing, huh?
I know. Don English. First Responder says his dad's on the way down from Ohio, just got into Georgia, haven't seen him in a while. Well, you and your dad can celebrate because you're only 13 subscribers away from 500. And I have a feeling that we will find 13 people in here tonight who have not yet subscribed to First Responder Garage. My Aunt Nancy's here. Colleen Tebow's here. Out of my 2,300 subscribers.
First Responder Garage? Let me see here. I'm going to roll over to my Safari and see if I can find that thing real quick.
It's pinned on the stream for this on YouTube if you go there.
Oh, well, I suck.
Don is Welding Floor Pans. Perpetual Projects is here. LB Brewing 79. If you have not yet seen Just Mopar Joe's Roll Call 2, you get to see LB's handiwork, this billet aluminum spacer he calls the Air Claw. You should check it out. That's worth a look alone, and the roll call itself is great.
Well, I tell you what, there's 2 subscribers for First Responder Garage.
Andrew Nelson is here. Mopars, Mustangs, and Minivans, not to be confused with minivans, Mustangs, and Mopars. Streetcar Chronicles, NSB. Destroyer 1320. Jerry, man, we got quite a crew in here. Bill McKyska, Jason Falk, Scott with an S of Heaven's Mopars, Ari. Jerry Franks, John Mounts, Henry's Hot Rods Garage. There's your monkey bike jockey, Lars.
Lars.
That's Lars, yep. Frankenstein C20, Street Fox is here. Yeah. Family's Garage is here. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. We have 50 people in here before I can finish greeting everybody. Thank you. I appreciate you. There's a lot of things you could have done with your Friday night, and you decided to hang out with Alice and I, and we appreciate that. The boss, Wendy English, is here, keeping tabs on Dawn. That's a good thing. Excellent. So where's First Responder? An administrative function check here. He needed 13. And where are we now? 493. First Responder Garage needs 7 more to be, what is that, the 38th channel to make it? Pretty close.
Hey, I just want to give you a heads up here, John. We got some thunderstorm rolling through, so in case I drop, I'll come back in on my phone just like I did when you were here before. Yeah,
no problem. That'll work. But I could crash too, so I'll be back to the same thing because you just never know. We never know what could happen. Dude Mopar was the 38th channel across the finish line, so First Responder Garage and 7 more subscribers will be the 39th. And then next closest will be Outfits Garage, and then Stephen Holtz, and Unfinished Project, Dart Sport. Excellent. Well, thanks, everybody. It's crunch time. We've got 28 days to go right here. 496. First Responders Garage needs 4 more subscribers. 4 more subscribers. Auto Salvage needs an even number. Well, guess what, Auto Salvage Outlaws? You're in luck. You get an even number every other day. Just for you. Every other day is an even number.
Oh, well, Levi's saying they're at 498 right now, so they're going to make it.
I told him tonight is the night. He's going to get
in
his
the
500.
first 7 minutes of the live.
Yep. I'm going to let him know.
Yeah, he's on here, isn't he?
I haven't seen him yet. I sent him a message to let him know. I'll tell you what, it's a pretty incredible.
No, he's on here.
First Responder Garage?
Yep, he said happy.
There you go.
Happy Friday, Lars.
Congratulations, you got your 500.
All right. Well, that's the 39th, you said?
39th. So now, is Blake in the house? If he is not, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and screen capture that because I like to do that while it's fresh. And it'll take me just a minute. There we go. And then I'll post that. And so now I'm going to change the link from that to Outfits and see if I can do this without boring the audience to death. Of course, I do anyway, but now I'm like trying.
Oh, you're trying to bore everybody?
Well, I'm just good at boring people to death, I think. And I muted it before it crossed over with noise. Give me just a second. This is real-time administrative stuff here. I'm going to change that over to Outfits Garage. Why in the world did not let me type? That's weird. It won't. Computer jankiness abounds.
Well, that's because you're doing this live.
It is.
It's using every bit of processing power.
Yeah, this is impossible to prepare ahead of time because obviously you can't do it till you go live. Okay, that's weird. I'll get Andy, if you could post a link for Outfits Garage, I'd appreciate that. Or Blake, if you're in here, or Joe, if you're in here, or Ari, if you're in here, I would appreciate it. Oh,
so Auto Salvage Outlaws is saying the Outfits is 51 away.
He's 51 away. Yep. He's 449 as of about an hour ago. What's happening, right. Dust Devil and Spencer's food review of mostly old parts and rust. Buff made it. Excellent. By the way, Buff and Punisher Le Mans are doing a regular Pontiac Power Hour now. Going to be on Thursdays, on Thursday evening. And that looks like a good show. I didn't realize it. And I had that one-off live I've been trying to schedule for months with Thumper on ethanol, which was a great live. Thumper is really knowledgeable. That's actually one worth going back and watching on replay. I'm certainly leaving that up, so go check it out on my channel. If you want to learn about ethanol fuel, Thumper, he had class in session. So I didn't realize it, but I caught the very end of their live after that one, and they're going to be doing a regular Thursday live, so go check those guys out. I think they're going to alternate between Buff's Garage and Punisher Le Mans channels. So it'll be Thursday evenings. Who's our mods tonight? Well, Andy's in here. Blake's in here. We got mods in here. I think Ari was floating through.
Ari just dropped Outfits link, and then Andy did, and then I think Blink did too. So if you haven't subscribed to Outfits Garage, go hit them up. It's definitely worth watching.
Here we go.
That's about the most humble guys you're going to meet. And I've been rooting for them from the beginning because they literally pulled a car out of the weeds from behind their shop to go build it for
in the snow.
Yeah,
in the snow. Outfits Garage's link is pinned now. I've been watching it in StreamYard, so I didn't catch it rolling through. But yeah, the link is pinned. So if you're not yet subscribed to Outfits, check them out. 16 degrees in the snow. He's out there pulling a car out of the weeds into his shop to work. So he got going. He got going early. He deserves it. Just like JB's little shop, he has fought for his subs 1 and 2 at a time since the beginning. And I told him he would make it, and he will. And now he's right there. He's now right there. So good going, guys. You're almost there. Let's see where he is real quick. He was at 51 away. It's crunch time for these guys. 453. So Outfits needs 47 more subscribers. This is the time to tell your friends, your friends who are into cars and just don't know what they're missing about Outfits Garage. That's okay, Bad Tree Blake. Ari will pick up your slack. Ari's in here. Yep, 453. Appreciate the heads up there. Yes, First Responder Garage. You're the 39th channel to make it. Yes, indeed. What's going on, James and James? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. First Responder Garage just became the 39th channel to cross the finish line of the No Name 500. And now Outfits Garage is 47 subscribers away. That's what's going on. And Jason Falk just subscribed to Outfits.
Well, the James and James show, if you haven't noticed, they've been busy. They were smoking the tires on their monkey bike on the dyno rollers, pretty much finding out what kind of max power that sucker can make. And she was up at what, 2 horsepower at the wheel?
Well, I was going to let them just watch and find out what it made on horsepower.
Okay.
They put it on a chassis dyno.
They did.
I got to tell you,
kind of surprised.
The graph looks really wild. It doesn't look like anything you've seen. It made some ponies. They did 2 pulls on it, I believe. And Big James had a ear-to-ear grin making the pulls.
I'm sure. That sounds like the most fun thing I've seen in a while.
I think you could have taken
a rocket-propelled monkey bike, of course.
Yeah, I think you needed a sundial to time how long it took that roller to get up to speed to make a pull. Yes, the jet sounded awesome. If you have not seen Joe's roll call number 2, it was fantastic. They just keep upping the ante each one they do. Outfits needs 43 more. Is this going to be Russell's night? Is he going to be channel number 40 tonight? It looks like it's possible. He's only 43 away. This is exciting. And glad you could make it, First Responder. Congratulations.
There's Puddin' right there, Daddy's Money Garage. He'd say his name and he shall appear. He's like Beetlejuice, but you only got to say his name once.
Austin's great.
Right? If I light my shoes on fire and run in a circle, would that qualify for the burnout contest?
If you want to do that. And, I saw a comment by Colleen I thought was interesting. And I couldn't even really figure out why that was. But I'm curious about it. Colleen thinks the Juggernaut, which is Juggernaut Racing channel, has an unfair advantage. What unfair advantage is that? Because I'll tell you.
Maybe it means disadvantage.
Well, I can tell you what.
Everybody else pretty much has a car that's ready to go.
I mean, look at everybody else's channels. You can't tell me that there's any certain kind of content or certain kind of channel that makes it and doesn't. Absolutely not. The difference is all in the content creators. You can have a really hustling content creator that seemingly has so little to make content on and just does it. Hammers away with shorts, hammers away with content. And then you can have guys that just have this huge stable of expensive cars and struggle for subs. So it clearly isn't that. I'm just wonder what it is about Juggernaut she thinks has an advantage. If anything, he's trying to put a front clip of a Fox body onto an E-body and a cage.
That's the first thing I noticed.
Yeah. I mean, it.
That's a Fox body in front of them.
He's got a shop. He's got a fab shop there, but putting out content every few days when you've only got, I mean, he should be putting out like 5 shorts a day trying to get in front of eyes. First responder is trying to debate whether or not to weld up the differential, make a welded up locker out of it, I guess. Yeah, you can. A lot of people have.
What I like to call the wire spool.
We haven't been to the lake with Whistling Diesel in a while. Well, neither have I. How cool is that? Mrs. Dust Devil's in here.
All right. Yeah, well, we should get down to some brass tacks, John.
We should. Yep, we should. We should. Looks like everybody's in here hanging out and having a good time, and JB, and now the push is to get outfits over. But anyway, now that all the stragglers are here, let's talk about updates. Dallas had an exciting field trip to the trophy shop today.
Oh, yeah. And I picked up a couple trophies. Not all for no-name nationals, but most of them were for that. Outfits Garage saying that's a Lincoln locker. If you have a spool that's a welded welded diff, right? So I got my Precious over here. If you want to see it. By the way,
real quick, James and James workshops. We're going to have one more for not this Labor Day weekend, but the weekend after. That'll be the last regularly scheduled workshop.
All right. So here's your national event level trophy for the no-name nationals, right?
Look at that.
No-name nationals overall winner.
Ooh.
Yeah. This Wally's got nothing on this dude. All right.
Look at that.
Yeah. So this is what your overall winner for the no-name nationals is going to take home. And remember, it doesn't matter if you have the fastest car, the slowest car, the prettiest car. It's all about accumulating points across the board, right? So
I gotta say, I saw that before he finished with it. I saw like the pieces, and I thought it looked really cool then. But man, this is the first time I've seen it all together. Oh, gosh, that's sharp. I saw the proof of the artwork and everything, and it didn't do it justice. Looking at that right now, it looks great.
Yeah, this one turned out really well. So this is definitely something I would be proud of to give anyone.
It makes me wish I was eligible to win it. That is a gorgeous trophy.
That's it. I'm going to build something and go race for my own trophy.
Yeah, right. Man, that looks good. Well, anyway, the more you participate, the more opportunity that you'll have to win. And there's a point structure, and Dallas and I debated and hashed it out and drew it out and ran scenarios and worked and figured the best scenario we could that's going to reward people who participate the most. Of course, the more you win, it will help, but everything is weighted proportionally. Participation is the single biggest thing that's going to help you win the overall of the inaugural AHRA No Name Nationals and win that very trophy.
Well, okay, so here is your overall winner trophy, all right? That's the easiest one for me to grab at the moment. Give me a second, I'll grab it.
Man.
Okay.
The trophy looks so good. I hadn't seen it all together like that. That looks great.
Here's one that you may or may not get. I don't know. This is the Low ET Award. Okay, so Low ET Award.
As in low elapsed time.
Yeah, low elapsed time at the No Name Nationals. So there's your Low ET Award.
There you go. It's ET. He's sitting low. Little low ET.
That even got his little flower pot there, like, and he's holding his finger up, making the flowers grow, right? So,
yep. That's it. Low ET.
Yep. All right. All right, this one is the No Name 500 Cinderella award winner, right?
Right.
So there you go. And I think, John, your foot might fit in that shoe, right?
Not even close.
This is your Cinderella award winner. The person that like literally just showed up and pulled it all off. We had no idea it was even going to happen, kind of deal.
So here's the thing with that trophy. As you know, originally, those of you who've been here from the beginning, we were calling we didn't have a name for it yet. We knew that the guys trying to get to 500, they're like Cinderella, right? They're trying to make the ball. And so we just had it. Our working title was like the Cinderella guys, right? And then Barrows, once we had the no-name 500, Barrows coined that term. And then we adopted that as official, the no-name 500. So the winner of the no-name 500 will win the Cinderella trophy. And that's going to be done on a public vote. That's how that's going to be done. So what that does is it rewards the people who've participated the most. They've worked the hardest. They've got their name out there. They've built their reputations. That's what that rewards.
Remember, that's got to be essentially a no-name 500 contender, somebody that started off with
they had to register with fewer than 500 subs. So who has the most subs is not necessarily who's going to win that at all. So, for example, let's say that and this is just a generic example, if you're a no-name 500 guy and you had one short and you got 800 subs from it, good, that's great. But those people those 800 subscriptions you got there may not be as engaged with you to come back and vote as the person who got their subs one at a time. So that trophy could be won by any channel with 500 subs or 5,000, as long as they are a no-name 500 channel. And there's about 65 channels or so that are eligible for that. But to win it, obviously, you have to make it to the no-name nationals, and you had to have made your subs. So it's not going to be everybody who registered the no-name 500, but it will be all of those who made it and made it to the event.
All right. So the next one, most people probably won't get it by even looking at it because they might not even know what it is. I think I had to explain this one to John. All right. And it's a bit abstract, but all right. So this is the Star Traveler 2022. This is the longest commute to participate. That's actually a sextant. That's what you use to navigate by the stars, right, on a ship. So this is essentially the Star Traveler Award, the longest commute.
Yep. That's it.
All right.
And we know some people coming from great distances, but remember, you got to make it. And we're not going to know till they make it who's going to win it.
All right. I told you there's 2 awards for Monkey Bike.
Well, they're loving this. Check out the comments, Dallas. They're saying, wow, that's cool, man. We get the Blake seal of approval. Tall Garage says neat stuff. Wendy thinks it's cool. Auto Salvage says it's cool. Yeah, we wanted to do something different.
Right. I mean, anybody can just go down to the trophy shop and order something right off the wall. But when you make them all kind of custom that is tailored to the event that you're doing, that's where it actually means it's like, it's heartfelt. Kind of.
Well, if you've ever been to an event like where they have a table full of trophies that look exactly the same, the only difference is the height of them. That's fine and good, but these trophies, we put a lot of thought into these.
Yeah. Well, here is one that it seems to have very little thought, but it took a long time to get to this point. Trust me. So the first, essentially, the first trophy for the Monkey Bike class is this dude right here. This is essentially the class winner for the Monkey Bike. Okay.
You get it in there on the camera.
Donkey Kong on a Lego bike, right? A Lego motorcycle. So, and it gets better. So
I tell you, that was all Dallas's idea. We were struggling thinking, what is the way to do that? And then he came up with that. And I thought that was really cool.
All right. So besides the Donkey Kong monkey bike, so you had the most creative monkey bike as well, right? So I had to come up with something, and it was like when I saw these 2, I'm like, oh, this pair's got to go for our trophies, right? So here is the Diddy Kong, the Donkey Kong's baby or whatever, as the most creative monkey bike, right? So there you go. That dude is glued on there. He's hopefully it doesn't fall apart. I don't know how. I mean, it's Legos and they're all glued together.
True words from Dust Devil's Garage. He got his trophy at the very beginning. He got his clock. He's the clock running, Brian. Really, it keeps time and all. You should turn it on and use it.
Here's the one that didn't turn out like I thought it should have. I'm probably going to end up modifying this one before it goes, but I don't know. Just let me know. Let me know how you feel about it, because it's something that's fairly neat, and John and I had to kind of collaborate to come up with something for this. All right. So if you remember when this whole event started, there was a certain guy named Uncle Tony that was supposed to be that he threw this trophy out there. Don't get the biggest oil down, right?
Yeah, this was actually his idea. We grabbed this, I think, from a live when he mentions, it's a great idea.
So what we did was, here you go. Here's your 1950s, 60s oil spout, the biggest oil down award for the No Name Nationals. It's actually the worst oil down award, right?
Yeah.
So because of this thing so weirdly shaping, you got two plaques on there, one for No Name Nationals and the other one for what it really is.
Yeah, that's got to get straightened out. We'll straighten that out. Daddy's money's saying that's ours.
Originally, this was like supposed to be a grandioso idea, and I looked for an oil can, and it was like $200 for the oil can, right? And I'm like, I'm not paying that for it.
That one's in progress. But that is going to be the worst oil down award. And James says he wants to win them all, but now he's saying, I don't want to win that one.
All right, well, we got like 3 or 4 more to go. So.
Indeed.
Okay, here's the one I'm most proud of, because this is something that's like I've never seen before, and I decided that we had to have something extravagant for this, okay? Because the work and effort that goes into something like this is just beyond belief, and you'll never know unless you have to do it yourself. But this is the best pit thrash award ever, okay?
Yes, so, look at this.
All right, so this is the Shadow Box. That is an original 1920s Model T Ford wrench, right?
An actual Ford brand wrench.
Right. And I mean, if I zoom in on the camera, you can probably see it.
Look at that.
It says USA Ford. So it's actually a 1920s Ford wrench. I thought this would be kind of cool. Somebody could hang this on the wall, and this is something that you wouldn't be afraid to show your neighbor, right? So
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, all the trophies have a lot of meaning, and they will not get lost on your trophy shelf, no matter what.
Well, and this is the thing is, the No Name Nationals was already kind of its first event, and we're like, why don't we kind of re-engineer the way these things normally go? Not everybody's going to get the same looking trophy, because here's the sad part: if you go to any other event and you turn all the trophies around backwards, you don't know what any of them are for, because they essentially look the same, right? There's no difference between them. And I've always heard guys refer to trophies as dust collectors and stuff like that. And this is something that I wanted you to be able to look back on and smile. John and I talked about these for a long time. It's something that's memorable for a long time, right? So
some of the conversations and meetings Dallas and I have had over this event would just be hilarious to make a video out of. I mean, the trophy discussions are fantastic to come up with this. So you want to see the stuff that hit the cutting room floor, just some of those ideas. This is the stuff we went with.
Right. There was a lot of laughs, a lot of tears, some of joy. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So then we're on to some serious stuff here. Oh, I think I got to leave those out, John. This is the mystery class stuff.
Oh, you can't. No, we can't. No, mystery class stuff we can't discuss.
So we're going to call that for another time, right?
Family's Garage, we actually had somebody say, believe it or not, that this event is like many before it. What? This
like I'd like to be part of that one. I'd
like to see what event had this. Yeah. Just, I don't even know what to say about that. You know, of all times for Unfinished Project to not be here, do you know that he ducked out of Joe's video and he ducked out of this live right before and didn't see the shirt? I just can't believe it. It's so funny.
Terrence Seymour's asking, will you be making new trophies each year, or are they getting named and raced for each year? It's going to be new stuff every year. The idea is
see what happens.
When you march to the beat of a different drum and you want to keep it unique and different, you don't want it to become watered down. You have to come up with new stuff every year.
Well, understand there's things that are going to stay the same, and there's things that'll change. However, nothing is going to stay the same for the sake of administration. Okay. No, nothing's going to stay the same for that reason. So, for example, Dallas didn't get 10 of those 4-inches in a lot so that he could have 10 years worth of plaques. Okay, nothing like that. There will be things change and evolve, but there are things that need to stay the same, because if you don't have some kind of moorings of tradition, the event loses its soul. And we've seen that with a lot of things, but not with this. So, yeah, there will be things change. Who knows? We may need to have a whole new category of award some year. You never know. There may be awards that need to come back, and maybe the trophy will look completely different. Maybe the criteria will be different, but some things will stay the same.
Next year will be the best award. You
never know. You never know. Hey, Unfinished Project, check your mailbox. It's sitting there. That's so funny. I already beat you to it. Dark Sport. Next year, I'm going to put a Merlin motor in a Park Avenue or something. Yeah. See, this is what I can't wait for, is what these guys are going to do after they see this one, what they're going to want to try to do to top themselves.
Well, and that's where you get the new awards, because, I mean, it's just like, I personally would like to have the one-upmanship award, right? Like where you got to one-up the next guy. And I mean, it's just a lot of this just comes from, if you ever did time in the military and you deployed, generally at the end of the deployment, you would always have these kind of, I don't know, humorous fake awards kind of thing. Because you'd have a regular awards ceremony where people would get awards for doing something amazing, right? Yeah. But then they would also have fake awards. And the one that really sticks out in my mind was, I was deployed to Guantanamo Bay shortly after September 11th. And I was there for almost a year. And we had a guy that he was, we only had about 6 vehicles for 98 people or something. So you never got to drive something. Well, this dude had a vehicle assigned to him. And they're all the dilapidated, what I used to call I guess the government used to call them CVCC, like the M203 stuff, like the Blazer.
CVCC was the forerunner of the Honda Civic.
Huh? Well, maybe it's CUCCV, something like that. Whatever they were. They're like 3/4 ton heavy duty axle trucks with a 6.2 diesel in it. Well, at the end of the deployment, they gave this guy an empty starter, because he burned up 7 starters on these diesel trucks, because he would just freaking jump in there and hit the key and they wouldn't start right away because they needed the glow plugs to make the cylinder warm. And he never got that ever. It wasn't like, anything that you could just jump in and drive at home.
There you go. The Cuck V. I can't imagine who wants to drive that.
Yeah.
No,
so there's a bunch of them.
as Blake said, they have an award too. There are some other channels making their own awards for this that they just want to give from their channels. That's great. So we're going to have an awards presentation 6 p.m. on the Saturday. Okay, so we got a little stage there. It's near the tower, and we're going to do awards presentation, and that's where all these are going to get given out. Okay, there's going to be some ballots at the event. We're going to have to calculate some stuff and, add everything up, like points and stuff. So that's what we got to do for that. And also, we'll announce how much in total we raised for St. Jude. There's actually a link under this video. As you know, David Vizard Performance, He wants to raise money for St. Jude. Health permitting, he's planning to be there. David Vizard is planning to be there, health permitting. And at the moment, it looks really good. But he wants to be there, and he wants to sign books for donations. We're going to have raffles for books. Money goes to St. Jude's. We're going to have a carburetor shop put $5 a throw, and first round buybacks in the bracket, $20. And then, of course, there's just a link under this video for anybody who wishes to donate to St. Jude. So that's David Vizard Performance. We're sharing for him. It's what he wants to do to be there, but we would love for him to be there. And if you have any of those books, I know several of you do, any of the Vizard books, this is your chance that you can get them signed.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe we'll raffle off the stage 1 stunt double carburetor after
you never know. We might do things like that.
So what do you think, John? Should I put a fake mustache on the stage 1 stunt double carburetor?
We'll let y'all opine on that. I know one thing, it just needs to have no sharp edges so that, doesn't cut me.
Water jet, it's made with nothing but razor blades and sharpened glass.
Right.
So
I think that's what they put in the float bowls at the factory.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. It reminds me of that carburetor, that hot vapor carburetor that Uncle Tony's garage guy took the bowls off, and it was just full of sand, like right out of the blast cabinet. I'm like, man.
Well, that's not my stage 1 stunt double. That was the one I was supposed to use on the mule, the 300 mule. But yeah, it was. I'm like, man, why is the accelerator's pump sticking? I took it apart. It had like 10 pounds of glass bead in it. And like, holy crap, who sandblasted an entire car without even taking it apart?
Mongrel, if you refresh your page, you might get rid of that. I can't stand that. In fact, if you notice on my channel, I never have banner ads. I have the other ads, but I don't have banner ads. At Zero has that. Okay, yeah, he has that carb. Okay. The Sandblast carb? I thought he had a different carb. Mongrel says he has one of DV's books, planning on bringing it. Yeah, please do. None of us are promised tomorrow. None of us are. I know that Vizard has not traveled to an event like this in quite some time. So don't say I'll catch him next year. Maybe you can. I hope you can. But don't plan on it. If you want to see DV, this is the year. And not 100% for this year, but he wants to be there.
Outfit's saying they only need 39 now.
39 to go. If you have any friends, any of your car friends who are not watching what Russell and crew are doing over there in Outfit's Garage, now's the time. And Russell did a sermon on worry, and he posted a few minutes of that on his channel, which I think it's neat when you see what some of these guys do when they're not working on cars. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, let me see if I'm subbed on both my channels here.
Yeah, Bad Tree's doing some really sketch machine work over there and been doing a good job of it. So Nacho is really close. Yep, let's get Outfits to 500. Link pinned at the top. He's close. This is interesting. So Ron English is saying, I have a St. Jude shirt that I would wish everyone that donates sign for me. It's a work shirt I wear with pride. Okay, yeah, man, bring it. Feel free to bring it. I bet DV'd like to autograph it for you. Unfinished Project is saying, get Outfits to 500 so he can send me that. So Outfits Garage has a contest, by the way, $300 to win. When he gets to 500 subscribers, he's going to give away $300. So that's a contest you want to get in. So just remember that. He's really close. Country Boy Gas Garage in the house. And Unfinished Project says this because he wins a lot of stuff because he's really fast and he's everywhere. But you know what? Sometimes he's not as fast. Like sometimes I'm faster.
You know who's really fast, surprisingly fast? Uncle Squirrel.
Yeah, sometimes. Yep. Yeah, it may be. He may be. He's pretty close. There's a few who are really good, but I would say Unfinished Project is number one on winning contests. He won the contest to name Big Mike's car and so forth. And by the way, what are you, Unfinished Project? You're 381 subscribers last I looked. You're actually running third right now in the No Name 500. Now that First Responder Garage has made it. So when Outfits makes it, you're going to be second behind Stephen Holtz. Unless you can leapfrog him, which is fine. I don't care what order you guys finish in as long as you finish your races.
Yeah. You guys should be doing shorts, like the big thing is you don't want to try to overdo videos per day, right? Like I always try to do one because I noticed if you did two in one day, I've done that before. Yeah. It just crashes both of them.
Yeah, but there's guys that can crank the shorts out and have one of them hit. So what I would say
what I was
right
saying
now
is like you could do a short every 10 minutes and it doesn't seem to affect anything.
Do 5 shorts a day if you still need subs. You just need one to hit. Make 5 a day. I got to say, when there's a channel that needs subscribers, or like I need subscribers, and I go to their channel, they haven't put up a video in 5 days. I'm like, well, okay, I can't help people that can't help themselves. But Outfits needs 35. There's a guy who's going to make it. Here's a guy who did make it. Now, Mopar Den, he didn't register as a participant, as a spectator, signed up. He's got over 500 Mopar Den showing up. He is a wonderful person. You'll like getting to meet Mopar Den, those of you who haven't. Always excited to see him and a lot of the guys whom I have met. The real question here is Unfinished Project. How are you going to navigate coming to Sykeston? Are you going to have either like a mask, or are you going to have a piece of fence like Home Improvement, like Wilson from Home Improvement? Are you going to like have tinted windows and get into staging lanes and
no one's going to know who you are?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe he just won't even show up and he'll tell everybody I was there.
No,
right? And you're like, who is this guy? I didn't even see him.
He's got to want to show up. He showed up at Carlisle. Yeah, see, Daddy's Money Garage says he's just going to go and introduce himself as Unfinished Project.
Well, maybe he should just stand in the men's room, and as soon as you sit down to do your business, he just peeks over the top like, hey, I'm Unfinished Project, Dart Sport.
Big Block says the live with Thumper was, yeah. So not about plugging my live. Thumper had a great class, was in session. I had Thumper, the sweaty fat guy, on a live last night for those of you who didn't see it. And he really schooled the chat on how ethanol fuel works. It's ethanol. It's the difference between ethanol and methanol, how to make it, where to buy it, what the deal is with E85, how to set up your stuff to run it. All of that. It was a really informative live. If you have any interest at all in ethanol fuel and want to know a lot about it, check out that live from last night. It's on my channel with Thumper. Great live. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Got to learn a lot. A lot of fun.
Plus, you get schooled by a guy named Thumper, the sweaty fat guy.
Yeah.
He's such a cool dude.
Yeah, Thumper said he had fun. Yeah, I know. We all had fun. It was great. Thumper, really articulate, really smart. So NSB wants to play Where's Waldo at the No Name Nationals contest to find Unfinished Project. He's probably been working on the neighbor's vehicles on his channel so that people can't find him rolling up. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. We'll have Thumper back on sometime. That was cool. Yeah, we're going to have to learn a lot. So any of you guys have any questions? We're 28 days out. Dallas and I keep any word on Cabral coming. Ask Austin. They're best friends forever. Ask Austin. Not really, but Dallas and I keep moving up the time that we're going to be there to try to get all the work done. We keep looking at how much stuff we've got to do on site and keep bumping the time up. I think Dallas is just going to move to Sykeston here in a few days.
I'm leaving tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it just keeps moving it up. What we're working on is seeing how much range we can get you guys to have really good internet you can stream with. Thumper, I'm going to say 2.5 weeks, depending on weather. So I'm saying we're going to try to get you guys the best internet that we can. We're going to try to do a mesh network, really good internet, good volume of it. They're running a fiber line into the tower here in a couple of weeks. Yes, they want to wait until right before the event, but that's what they want to do. So that's what we're going to have to work with. But they're going to run a hard line, an aerial line into the tower so that we have our own separate internet at the event. It's not tied in with anything of the tracks. This is going to allow you guys to stream. It's going to allow you guys to upload and all that good stuff from the event. And we're going to need to work out some logistics with some of you probably to help us with points for the mesh network. And can we have internet absolutely everywhere? Well, that'll be a little hard. I mean, like all the way at the end of the shutdown, yeah, that's going to be a little hard. But can we have it all in the pits? That's what we want to do. All right. Here's a good question from Perpetual Projects. Will be fuel and nitrous oxide available at the track?
Oh yeah. You know what? Matter of fact, I was supposed to post that up. Nitrous oxide we're going to have. I've already worked that out months ago. There's actually going to be a distributor there with nitrous bottles. I just need to know how many bottles to bring, and I haven't got but one person. Who was that? Perpetual Projects asking about it. And I've said a couple of times on these lives that we need to know how many people plan on refilling nitrous, right? So we can have an idea. I'm not going to go buy 8 mother bottles and then use one.
That's right? The thing, guys. If you're planning on running spray, just give us an idea, what you need. If you don't want to publicly say if you're running spray, I don't know, if you're hiding spray or whatever, I don't care. We just need to know if you want refills to be available to you. Just let us know so we have some idea. Big Block says I will need 2 bottles filled. Excellent. Just let us know. And as far as fuel, what kind of fuel options will they have at the track?
Well, actually, I talked to the track about it this past weekend because I blew through there coming back from the rained out event in Iowa, and I stopped and picked up my travel trailer so we can get it prepped and ready to go for No Name Nationals. So when I talked to the track operator, his name is Barkley Schmidt. Barkley said, yeah, just give everybody my phone number and have them give me a call because I'll bring whatever they need. And so I was going to give everybody Barkley's phone number. Okay, he's the track operator at Jeffers. Now I'm thinking I probably should just jump on over to YouTube, find this live, and then type it up in the chat, right?
Well, I'll put it in the description underneath this video. We'll just do that. We'll put it here under the video so you guys can have it. So The question is what fuel is available? Andrew Nelson is asking, what about E85 and methanol? I know race gas should be there.
You can get all that stuff. Methanol is a standard product that he normally brings to the track anyway. Okay, because I would have to say half or more bracket racers run methanol because it's absolutely the best fuel to use for consistency, right? Because it's not affected by weather as much, and that's because you're using so much more fuel. Now, the 85, he can get it, and he can bring it there, no problem. You might be better off finding it somewhere at the pump because when he buys it, it's going to be like VP E85. And if you've ever bought VP E85, it's not $1.76 a gallon. It's like $9 a gallon, like race gas price, which I have never understood, but that's what it is. Okay, so if you are an E85 racer, we can get E85 there. You'll just have to call Barkley and let him know you need some E85 there. He'll probably bring either a 5-gallon drum or if there's enough of you, a 55-gallon drum, and then bring your gas cans.
if you're hiding the spray for all your call-out races, just remember, Clayton will get the bottle filled so nobody will know for 20. That's enterprising.
But then race gas, he can get a myriad of race gas. So what we're going to do is John said he's going to put it at his phone number in a link on
the link under the
description of the video. So that way you can go back there, hit the link, order the fuel that you need, and Barkley will bring it.
Okay. And what we'll do is next time Dallas and I are live, it'll already be under there as a reminder if you need to. But that's just an administrative thing. Andrew Nelson said there are flex fuel stations in the area.
Yes. I don't know where you will. I'm sure there's an app that shows you where all of the E85 stations are at. And I would definitely measure it. If you have a hydrometer or something, I would definitely measure it, because I think from what I've heard, and I'm not experienced with E85, but from what I've heard is not all E85 fuel stations are created equal. Right? Some of them are E90, some of them are E70. So
Thumper
you probably already know that.
Thumper says that break time at 420 North Main has E85 at the pump.
Well, there you go.
So I'm actually going to do a little math on that. That station is... It's actually 8 miles. It's 8 miles from the track. 13 minutes, 8 miles from the track is that pump if you need that. So I don't know if that's the closest, but that's what Thumper's telling us. E85 at the pump is
there's another one too.
Worst case is 8 miles away.
He said there's another one at 3834 East Malone Avenue.
Well, let's see what that is.
But generally, in the Midwest is where you find a lot of E85. I know if we were running this up in Iowa, it's like on every pump.
You see, you don't see it here.
Yeah, you start getting away from corn country.
Yeah, 9 minutes, 6 miles. So 6 miles away is the worst case, per what Thumper said.
Oh,
and you got it in another town here. Petro. So there are 3 places in the area. Oh, no, this is interesting. So in Pennsylvania, where the Nelsons are, our flex fuel ranges from E70 to E83.
But never above 85.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting.
Outfits says at 465. Those guys need 35 subs. Is tonight Outfits night? Only you guys know the answer to that. We're going to be live for a little over an hour, and can they get 35 subs in an hour? Can you text a few friends and say, hey, if you're a car guy, you should check out Russell and Company over there at Outfits Garage. 35 to go. It'd be neat if those guys could. I bet they weren't expecting to get 500 today. Where are you, Outfits? Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Only the chat knows the answer. Yeah, see, Andy's saying in North Carolina there's hardly any E85, and that's why he quit running it. Yeah, you don't see any here either. We're 72 miles north of North Carolina right here. And Big Block 402 says it's E70 in northeast Arkansas. See, I would think that would be really hard to know what to tune for.
If you be consistent, right? And that's why it costs $9 a gallon if you buy the VP stuff, is because it's guaranteed 85 on the money. Right? But you can, if you have a hydrometer, you can literally make your stuff at right there. I mean, think about it. If you're, let's say most gas is already E10. Okay. Most gas is. If you buy some E85 and it's like E70, right? Well, just add in, I mean, you can buy some ethanol, just add in ethanol, 5-gallon pail of ethanol will probably go pretty dang long way.
Yeah. The Nelsons are trying to avoid, they're trying to avoid hauling a drum. Yeah.
I don't blame them. Yeah.
I would say Thumper's going to be bringing some fuel. He runs E100.
Cattail E100, right?
Yeah, 60. A lot of people are saying it's like an hour away. Oh, look at this. 32 away for Outfits Garage. And Layton says, I told Outfits by the second week of September he would have 500. Well, let's make you wrong, Layton. Let's let him get it tonight in the first week of September.
The first 2 days.
Right. Yeah, he needs 32 more. So if you have any friends who are not yet subscribed to Outfits Garage, now's the time to tell them. And they have Jabo subs. So I know now that you're like, oh, well, I've finally reached the entire network I want to reach in life because you've got Jabo. But still need 32 more people that want to watch what's going on.
And I've been saying this all year, Jabo for president. Okay. I don't think.
B&R says they have E90. B&R, do any of your vehicles run on ethanol? And what are you bringing to the No Name Nationals, B&R? So Andy says he loved running it, but it became a hassle. And then used a spec fuel in his class, but he loved how the car was consistent with it. Yeah. I got to tell you, I found it really interesting. And that live, I'm not plugging a live on my show. I'm plugging what Thumper did on that live. It was incredible. Class was in session. That's one worth. And I tried to make sure to read everything so that it was something that was listenable later, even if you don't watch it. So if you're going on a drive, like a 2-hour drive, tune in, just listen to that on your drive, because Thumper was really interesting stuff. So B&R says he's bringing his Corvette or his 454 C2500. Lane Martin Outdoor says this video is dope. Okay.
That's cool. I feel like I'm just sitting here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit out of it today. I haven't been feeling that well.
And he had to go do battle with trophies. That'll take it out of anybody.
Well, I was actually there like an hour and a half longer than what I should have been.
Oh,
and
wow.
I started getting my sugar crashed at about noon. So,
hey, Dust Devil, if you want to bring that Duster to the No Name Nationals, forget the windshield. You're like past that. But where to get a gasket? I don't even know. Check around with some of your buddies. The good thing about the gasket is cars with broken windshields sometimes have good gaskets. But you don't have to have a windshield to pass tech. But Dallas, if you don't have a windshield, must you have a full face helmet?
You should have a full face helmet if you don't have a windshield.
You should. Yeah. And I know I'm weird. I actually like a full face helmet. A lot of guys don't like them.
I hate it. I feel like I get, and I'm not claustrophobic, but I feel claustrophobic with that full face helmet on.
To me, okay, so first of all, I don't like having that Darth Vader full. But here's the thing. I also can't take the thought of being in a collision and just like not having that. So to me,
well, the one that actually was perfect for me, especially bracket racing in like the early 90s, you remember they used to make the open face helmet with the bubble shield that you could put on?
Yeah.
They don't make those anymore. And those are the ones that really worked well for me. And you don't get them in any tint. You just want them clear so that you can see the light. Otherwise, if you tint it, it actually makes you a little slower.
Brian, if you just get fuel and ignition to that so that you can put it in gear and idle down that track, you will have exceeded so many people's expectations. That would be awesome.
Maybe you should get the best pit thrash award and get that sucker running while you're there.
Pro Charge Mopar, you should have gotten a receipt from Square, but I got it. So that's your receipt. Okay, I've got it. You're printed out. You're in the book. You're good to go. I know occasionally people say they don't get a receipt, and what it could be is the email you're giving Square, because most people get one sent back automatically. But I'm telling you, Pro Charge Mopar, I got your order, and it's in the book. You're good to go. Dust Devil says he will at least be a show car entry. Excellent. And I'll tell you, I gotta give Brian a lot of credit. He has shown a good attitude through all of this. He really has. He's got a good attitude, but a good sport, a great cheerleader for this event, and I really appreciate that. And Buff says he's going to be pit thrashing all the way through. A lot of people will.
Well, that's how you get that Ford wrench.
Auto Salvage Outlaw says, bring plenty of water. Yes, do. We don't want anybody getting dehydrated out there. Bring plenty of water. Classic Industries has a windshield gasket. Yeah, you can get them. Now, this is interesting. Big Block 402 says Biltwell still makes the bubble shields.
I have more running. Like when they stopped making them on Bell helmets in like the 90s, I just stopped wearing them. But that's good to know. They're open in the front, right? So it actually down here, it gives you like a feeling of that's the thing that bothers me with the closed face helmet is not so much you being closed in. It's that when you breathe, you can actually feel your breath moving around your face, right? And you know it's tight then. NSB Custom Cars says, Dallas, bring me that black AHRA shirt. Don't worry. I'm going to have plenty of them there for you to buy. If you want to get more than one, you're more than welcome. We're going to have plenty for you to purchase.
Start making your pre-flight checklist of stuff to pack and take with you. Because a lot of you guys are coming from a really long way, and don't forget the little things. Make sure you have water. Make sure you have earplugs. Make sure you have enough of your prescription medicines for the trip. You know,
sunscreen,
bug
spray.
Yes. Make sure you have that kind of stuff. All of your necessary creature comforts.
Okay, so everybody's asking for 3X, 2X, and 3X shirts already. Guys, I'm going to have them all. They're all going to be there when we show up. I'm buying inventory this week. I'm actually kind of worried because I still have the remainder of the season, and I just plopped down like a whole big pile of money for merchandise. So just swing on by the booth. If you don't like the price or you want to get more than one, we can make you a deal. We just need to move them so we can finish off the rest of the season.
Charlie, is there a registration for non-competitors? You mean spectator tickets? Yes. You can buy spectator tickets at the gate for $20, or you get a $5 discount buying them online at nonamenationals.com. You can buy spectator tickets there, and you get a discount.
That's actually probably coming down, I would say probably the weekend before you leave. So
yeah, we're gonna have to call it due at some time because I'm gonna have to give that list to the gate. I have to. So
24th or 25th is probably the cutoff for that.
You should know by then if you're going to this event or not. So when that comes down, you'll still be able to buy tickets at the gate. So it's not like you can't go. It's just
you're not saving any cash.
Yeah, you just won't get the discount. Cash. You won't get the discount. I mean, we're giving a $5 discount when you buy them online, and we're eating the fees. So if you know you're going, there's no reason not to. There you go. Here's a 3X needs a 2X because he dropped 30 pounds. That's cool.
Huh. Holy cow. That's the quickest way right there to get some ET without wrenching in the garage. And speaking of that, I haven't wrenched in the garage in like 2 weeks or something. I'm going through like a garage wrenching session withdrawal.
Have you recovered from the concussion of the bottle rockets? It sounded spectacular filming it, by the way, but you said it just felt like you got hit with a bat.
It hit me like right in the chest. It took your breath away.
Yeah, Big Block 402, it's a home game for him. He only lives 120 miles away. Most people live a lot farther than that, but that's cool. But yeah, now's the time to make those logistic plans. Yeah, we've got a lot of the last things are coming together that are 80 and 90% done, and now there's a lot of things getting finished at the same time because that's just the time frame of things, like the trophies. I've got all the guard wall signage and banners and all of that stuff laid out. That's getting done next week, and it looks great. If you liked the billboard, you'll love the signage. So we're going to make this place look like the national event that it is.
Lane Martin Outdoors wants to know, when did you start on YouTube, John?
I've had a YouTube account since November 21st, 2006. But like a lot of people, I just watched videos and commented and didn't make any content until a few years ago.
I started last November. It's Mr. Rodder's neighborhood.
I didn't get serious about content really until the COVID thing had me shut down.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way. Well, not really, because I waited 2 years later, but I started working with, I started building motors from a garage and then selling them. And that's when I started running into people like, when I ran into Tony and he wanted to do, hey, let's do a Wednesday night Tech Talk live. So I did that. And well, actually he came over and did a couple episodes on stuff I was doing. And then that led to the Wednesday night Tech Talk.
Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans are asking, are spectators allowed to camp at the track?
Sure.
Yep.
You just need to buy your spectator ticket again the next day. Unless you buy it for the whole weekend.
I've got some space reserved over at the Best Western in Sykeston. I don't know for sure if I'll be crashing there, if I'll wind up just crashing the van at the track. It all depends what's going on and what needs to be done. But I've got it in the back pocket if I need it. But I know this, Barrows was talking about calling hotels, and some of them are starting to get kind of booked up. So, again, by now, you know if you're going. Yeah, Dust Devil's 147 miles away. Home game for him, too. Yeah, the NSB guys, it's a haul. Indeed.
Yeah, NSB stands for New Smyrna Beach in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Outfits has room reserved. Yeah, I can say this. I don't know anything. I haven't stayed there. Dallas, you've stayed about all of those places near the.
I have. Well, I've been there a lot of times.
Yeah. I know that I was looking for a place that was pet friendly and looked, reasonably safe. Like you don't need to shoot your way in and shoot your way out, So I don't.
I'd say Drury Inn was one of the best ones that we stayed at. It's like literally right there, probably 3 miles from the track.
Yeah.
Restaurants on both sides. The same thing with there's one right next to it called the Pear Tree Inn.
Drury and Best Western are right together, and they're also really close to Lambert's.
I know I stayed at the Super 8, and I don't recommend staying at the Super 8. Okay, don't stay there.
That one's not recommended.
Yeah, highly not recommended. If you do decide that you're going to stay at the Super 8, bring your bug spray.
Well, it's not recommended for a reason. We don't know what it's doing today. We don't know, but I'll tell you, Big Block 402 says, I have room reserved at the Hampton Inn, but may cancel and just sleep at the track. Yeah, exactly. That if you go ahead and make your reservations and you have it in the back pocket, you can decide what you want to do. Jason Fox says 500 miles. Yeah, it's not bad. 500 is not bad. That's a day. Outfits at Best Western. I got to tell you, it's going to be a lot of crew at the local hotels. Buck is going to be camping at the track.
I think it's going to be fun there at Lambert's on Thursday night. That's going to be a lot of fun because Lambert's going to be like, what in the world? We walk outside and it's like a freaking car show.
So the thing is there will probably be a lot of people having fun, grilling and all kind of good stuff at the track. Lots of socializing. I don't see a movie, but NSB booked Airbnb the night we announced the NNN. Would that be January 11th? Because that was the day. Yeah, Lambert's is cool.
What's funny is NSB says I had to change it when the date changed. Yeah, hey, so you know what? I was actually out there at Jeffers on the 26th, 27th. And guess what they were doing? Racing just like the hit said.
Exactly.
Gosh.
We had somebody try to say, well, what's the real reason for the date change? Exactly what we told you on the 16th of January. And Dallas was out there while it was going on.
I was trying to pick up my trailer, and there's like a zillion kids and junior dragsters everywhere.
Okay, so Big Block 402 says, I'll have to put my burnout tires on for the drive to Lambert since they are street. There you go.
That's how you do it.
So for those of you, again, so make sure everybody understands, we're leaving the track at 6 p.m. on Thursday and cruising the 6.9 miles to Lambert's Cafe in Sykeston. Okay? And everybody's welcome to do that. Participant, spectator, if you're not even coming to the event and you just like cars, hey, I'm in the area, that looks cool, come out. Everybody is welcome to come out and come to our flash mob car show in the parking lot at Lambert's Cafe. We're leaving the track at 6, so we're going to get there whenever we get there, but figure 6:15, 20, 30-ish, something like that, will be descending upon Lambert's. And that's on Thursday, the 29th. It's not actually an official part of the event.
Well, hey, let's dive in on this because I don't know what this even is. B&R Racing says got that railroad strike soon, September 15th coming up.
Oh no, he's what he's doing is just trying to create stuff like he does that with all kinds of stuff. He predicted a fuel shortage and everything else. No, I don't read those for that reason. I mean, the gas was supposed to be $10 a gallon, and now you and I went to Sykeston a couple weeks ago. It was $3.11.9, and there wasn't a line at a pump anywhere. Yeah, see, same thing. So it looks like we have plenty of fuel because, like every election year, every one of them, we watch fuel prices dip right before, and this one's no exception.
Yeah, they're not going to screw around during the midterm election year.
No, it's always the case. We're going to have fuel. Like I said, Dallas and I went out there at 3:11.9 that day.
So Jerry Poza asking, is it going to be live on YouTube for those of us who can't make it?
Everywhere.
And I'm going to tell you right now, you just pick one of these names on this list, and I'll guarantee you they'll be live at least one time during the No Name Nationals.
So Dallas and I are going to be streaming all kinds of stuff from there. But they're going to have a lot of other channels streaming and a lot of videos. There'll be more coverage of this than anything. So you won't have any trouble finding to be able to watch. Okay? Need any of them detailed? What are you doing, like detailing work? Izzy says, if I don't get 500, I'll rent the Vagrant maybe. Dizzy Izzy is fewer than 200 subs away. Okay? He's done giveaways on this channel. He's made content. He's trying, he even panhandled for subs in the staging lanes at Jeffers one day. Yeah. So,
and right outside the
go out, check out his channel, support Dizzy Izzy. I would love to see him get his 500 subs. He's got a little over 300, about 301 right now, and we need that to happen. Yes, it's cool. There'll be all kinds. You'll have no shortage of coverage from this thing. Wendy's asking how far I am. I don't even know. A bunch.
Oh, man. Aren't you probably like 8.5 hours away?
Oh, no. Well, the way I drive, no. It'll be a lot longer than that. I drive slow. I'll find out.
I want to say from your house just to where I live at is probably 6. And I'm 4 from the track.
I don't know. From here, they're showing 8 hours and 47 minutes, 601 miles.
So at 60 miles an hour, that's a 10-hour drive for you, John. That's without even stopping to refill on fuel or take a leak.
Well, I mean, I just spread it out. See, I'm not one of these people that likes to wait till the last minute to leave and then, just kill myself to get somewhere. I can't stand that. There are people who they love being able to drive 15, 20 miles an hour over the speed limit the whole way there. I don't know if they put in a catheter or depends or what. They won't stop for anything. They won't eat. They don't want to see any scenery. They want to drive in the middle of the night so they can tell everybody how quick they got there. Hey, there's nothing in that for me. I'm like, okay, great. I'll just leave like 3 hours earlier and not do any of that. That's what I do. I mean, whatever you want to do, whatever makes you happy. But some people like to drive every trip like it's the Cannonball Run. I like to take my time so that if I want to stop somewhere, like if I want to stop at Smoky Mountain Knife Works or something, I can, and just have plenty of time. And this, to me, it just seems like a better way to travel. But whatever you want to do. This is America. So if you want to run the cannonball for your trip, go for it. Just
cannonball it.
Yeah, film it.
I drive 5,000 miles a month during racing season, and I pretty much leave. I have an idea when I'm going to leave. It gives me about an 8-hour buffer in case something breaks down, or I get a flat tire, or I got to pull over and eat, or I ate something that wasn't good, and then I end up getting sick. It gives me a buffer.
Well, I mean, anybody can help. Russell's asking about people teaming up. Here's the thing. You can always help people at the track, but we can't make any kind of workaround for the subscribers, because some people, like the Big Mike's Hoopty Barns and the Bear Roses and the Two Hacks and you and JB and all of these guys who've built channels from nothing to come out and make these 500 subscribers. We can't make a workaround for it. I mean, anybody can go help anybody and work with anybody at the track they want to, but if people just get through this first year understanding they need 500 subscribers to participate, next year it's not even going to be a thing, because it's just going to be understood. And people will have a huge head start because they know it's coming. See, this year you didn't. This year you had 9 months. So on January the 10th, you had no idea that you needed 500 subscribers to make an event on the 30th of September. You had no idea on the 10th of January. And on the 11th of January, you knew. Well, guess what? Next year, people already knew since January 10th, 2022, that they needed it for whenever in 2023. So it won't even be a thing next year.
And that's kind of my fault, because you guys were supposed to know actually December the 31st.
Well, they had plenty of time.
My stupid immune system decided to catch something.
Plenty of time. Yeah, go for it, Dust Devil. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No reason to be tense over it. Yeah, just take your time. Enjoy the trip.
Yeah, and what I will tell you, just from experience from driving to all these dang events, is that the faster you go, the sooner you get worn out, right? I could drive all day long at 65 miles an hour. But I try to drive 75, and I'll be worn out after 4 or 5 hours.
You stay up on the wheel, it's taxing. But no, I just, to me, giving yourself that time to be able to relax the pace a little bit, to me, I think it conserves you a lot better. You don't feel like you're so worn out when you get there.
Well, Tony's Hot Rod Garage? Where I see that at? Tony's Hot Rod Garage says, hell, I plan on leaving Arizona on Tuesday sometime.
Yep.
And you know what? As soon as you arrive, buddy, we're going to be there.
Yep.
So even if you get there before we open the gates on Thursday, don't meander around. Just come on out there. We'll let you in. You can do whatever you need to do. Yeah,
I mean, we're going to open the gates at noon on Thursday, but it's going to take you that to get there from Arizona. That's a good haul. Yeah.
And isn't Destroyer 1320 Eric is going to be coming from Chandler?
Yep. This is the event for the fellow content creators, and it's worth coming from wherever you're coming from. 6 hours, 20 minutes, not bad at all. Bad tree. I start shutting down after about 22 hours of driving. I'm sure some of the folks in the chat know, big truckers, the guys drive the big trucks, they're allowed, 13 hours a day on their log books? Isn't that what they're allowed?
Is that what it is? I thought it was 8.
No, I think it's 13. $444 miles for Jerry Racing.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. Tony says 11. I don't know if he's answering that question. 11 hours. Okay. Allowed. Yeah. It's all relative. Dart Sport. I should have made your shirt to have like a face shield with a drawstring.
You should just have 2 eyes above Dart Sport.
Yeah. I should have sewn a hood on it that goes on backwards with some eye holes. No one would have known that was him. Yeah, it's CDL. You know what? I thought about that once. There's just a few things about it that bug me why I never did want to do a CDL. $870 miles for Ron English. 9 hours for first responder. The speed of light for B&R racing. Mopar Den says that a commercial motor vehicle driver may drive a maximum of 11 hours after 10 consecutive hours off duty. There you go. Also, you know where they're getting 13? Because that's 21, and then after 10 off, you could have 2 more. So in a 24-hour period, you could get 13. That's where that number came from. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, J-Bo. Yes, Dart Sport. Always the right answer. There are 3 of these shirts in existence. This is one of them. Hopefully, you'll see the other 2 soon enough. Yeah. Yeah, man. $382 miles for B&R.
Here, I got an answer for you, Brian. Why don't you just start from, I don't know, Bear Rose's house and drive all the way in, and you'll be a legitimate long hauler.
Auto Salvage Outlaws, I'll respectfully say it's not about using the name. That dishonors the entire No Name 500. That's everybody who's worked for their subs. Dizzy can do it. If we get behind him, he can get his subs. And next year, it's just not even going to be a worry because everybody's going to have such a head start. It won't even be a thing. Dizzy will be there. He'll get it, though. He can do it. He's built his way up to 300, which is pretty impressive. And he can do it. He can get the rest of the way. We can help. We can do benefits for him. But just got to keep hammering on it, keep working on it. There is time to do this. And Outfits is at 472. So this live is going to run for a little over half an hour more, and those guys only need 28. So they're striking distance. Is Outfits going to make it tonight? I mean, gotten what, 20-some, 30 subs tonight? Something close? 472. Outfits needs 28 more subs.
Brian from Dust Devil's Garage says, I hope it's further away next year. I love road trips. There's probably a distinct possibility that might be the case.
We'll see. We do want to keep it geographically
centered.
Yeah, in a reasonable place. We don't want to put the burden on anyone. Look, I mean, if we wanted to make this easy for us, I mean, we could have it somewhere, right in eastern Tennessee or something, right? I mean, it's like
Crossville's a piece of cake. It's only like 6 hours for me, John.
We could have it at Hereford, North Carolina, at that track, right? We could have it there. Not a problem. Thing is, though, how unfair is that to practically everyone? It's on the East Coast. It's on the East Coast. So definitely it's going to increase the commute average for everybody. So would it be cool? Yeah, it's a shorter trip for me. I mean, it's probably 4 hours for me. It's on the coast. It's a nice area. I'd be down with that. But the thing is, it wouldn't be fair to all of you. And no, Dizzy Izzy, you're not defeated yet. Not hardly. Dizzy Izzy's come a long way. And don't forget, just because it took him so many months to get to 300 does not mean it will take that many more to get 200 more. The more you get, the faster the rate you get them. He absolutely is still in this. I want to see Dizzy Izzy make it. And I think he can. I've really, in my little prediction sheet that I don't share, I've got Dizzy Izzy in the probables. B&R, we're already doing something for St. Jude's. We're doing that. We're not
doing something for St. Jude's. We're actually doing like 3 somethings for St. Jude's.
We're doing a lot for St. Jude's. There's a link under this video to St. Jude's, carburetor shot put for St. Jude's, first round buyback in the bracket for St. Jude's. We're doing Vizard is going to be raffling off books and 2 seats in his seminar and doing book signings all for St. Jude's. So I mean, yeah, we are doing a lot of benefit for them. I mean, realize there's a lot of great events out there, but just because other events do something doesn't mean that we can or should. This event is unique. This is a content creator homecoming. And so doing other things is great, but the primary mission here is a content creator homecoming, a YouTuber trade show. No, BNR. No, it's not. Not at all. No, not at all.
Yeah, there's like I don't know.
I don't even want to answer that. I don't even get that. Big Block 402 is going to throw a carb at least 4 times. Yeah, I don't want to hurt a rotator cuff, but I do want to. I want to see how far I can chuck that thing. Yeah, Dizzy Izzy will be there, and we want him to race, and he can make it. How many subs do you need, Dizzy? Let's actually look. Let's just start tonight. We're 28 days out. What does Dizzy need? And Dizzy's got to help us. Roger, you got to make content to help us out, because we can refer people to your channel, but when they go there, they got to see. They've got to see it. And Scott, here's the thing. Before we try to split stuff up and have 2 events and all this, why don't we just have one where everybody can be, instead of just have one we guarantee that people are only going to go to their own?
Well,
there's already events doing that.
We actually talked about this idea before, where John and I was looking at how cool would it be to make a no-name national tour, right? Yeah. But then here's the big kicker, like why they got kind of kicked to the curb. Do you remember about, I don't know, March, when gas hit $5-6 a gallon, right? You have to have attendance at these things to make them go. And if it's completely controlled by fuel costs for traveling between the two, I'm telling you, there would be half as many people there at each one.
Izzy is at 304. And here's the thing, too. Look, I mean, we're trying to have it in the center of the country, not to our own benefit, to everybody's benefit. And we have a fuel relief fund. What other event does that?
Yeah.
I mean, so no, I think to have one event. I mean, the Super Bowl is not held in multiple places. You know, we're just trying to have it in a location that works. And it's not completely out of the question to be back at Jeffers. I mean, it's a great event. I think a lot of people would like to have it. So we're not going to be a problem finding a track. We just want to have it in a good, reasonable place. But remember, we got to location. But remember, one thing a lot of things that people don't think about when they think of where to have something, they don't realize it's not all about just your racing surface. We have to have a place that has the accommodations. We have to have a place that has RV parking. We need to have a place that has shower rooms, shower houses. We need to have a place that's close enough to town. We need to have a place that has these things going for it. The logistical stuff that needs to be in place for a track to really be considered. And Jeffers has all of that. So we need to look for that.
And hotels was a big one. In Sykeston, it's always had a lot of hotels. It's actually at the crux of I-57 and I-55. And so it's always had a lot of hotels right there in Sykeston.
Here's another thing, too. Like, you know what's close to Jeffers is George Ray's. Okay, George Ray's is cool. It's an old storied track and all that, but George Ray's doesn't have a lot of the things on the list that it needs to have for this. Here's another thing, too. We're going to have some fast stuff coming to this event. Guys that are running in the 4s, I don't think in the right mind would want to go down George Ray's. I mean, you can look at George Ray's on the overhead and
I know for a fact guys running in the 3s, right?
Yeah.
Have went down Jeffers Motorsports Park and have no qualms about it, right? Because John and I literally pulled in there to put up the billboard, and there was Kai Kelly just testing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Kai Kelly was there testing while we were there. Larry Jeffers, I mean, that's where he tests, I would assume. although I've not seen him testing there. But I'm just saying that track will handle. That track is a good national event prepped track, and so we're looking for certain things in a track. Okay. And there's a lot that goes into where you make that decision. And no decision is going to please everybody. And if we were to ask people, where do you want it to be? We would have 500 different answers from a bunch of people that not only are not even going to be there, they're just going to name whatever track they either want to vacation or live by. I mean, like we've had people say, well, have it in New York. Okay. You know what would happen to the turnout if we were to have it in New York? Kim, yeah, that is fast. That is fast. Wendy, do they have showers? Yes.
Yes, they have a shower. They have 2 shower rooms, I guess is what you'd call it.
They have shower rooms. Yes. Jeffers is a nice track, and it is really so. If the grounds are all flat, and they mow it like a golf course over there, and we got to see that. We were over there doing the Thumper. I didn't lose anything there either. We got to see them mowing while we were there. They have a crew come out, and those guys are they're like the lawnmower ninjas. They're zooming around on these 0 turn, but they keep that place mowed like a golf course, nice and flat. The grounds are really nice. They're clean. It's a great track.
You know what's funny about Thumper's comment here is says, I will not go to New York, right? And the very first year I started doing the AHRA, I picked up a track in Maine. Right, it was in Oxford Plains, Maine, and I had to drive through the entire Northeast to get there. And when you get to PA, is where it kind of starts, but Pennsylvania is where they start doing these tolls like every 20 miles or something, you know. But New York was the one that would shake you down, and you would have $150 in tolls to cross the state, and there was no way to get around them, or they thought. I was willing to go to extenuating circumstances, like I literally drove into Canada and around on the northern side of the U.S. border to get to Maine, so I didn't have to pay them stupid tolls.
By the way, Tony, that's important to me too. I've been teaching firearms professionally for 13 years and been a gun rights activist for about 20. Okay, I'm an executive member of the VCDL, and no, I'm not going to choose any place that wants to arrest me just for living my life. So, yeah.
And that's why, we haven't been chasing a track in Illinois.
Right. But Missouri?
Piece of cake. Yeah.
Yes, Tony, that matters to me. That matters to me. It does. Again, it's never a topic we talk about on the lives, but it does matter to me. That said, it actually is attainable to get an Illinois CHP. In some of these states, you do have a little more leverage than what you had even 2 or 3 years ago. So not all is lost for places like that.
Yeah, there is actually a beautiful track in Southern Illinois that would probably cut their arm off to host this thing. But I'm originally from there, but I don't want to go back, and I don't want to. I know how stringent their gun laws are. I know as soon as you cross into Illinois, fuel goes up by 40 cents a gallon. That's the last thing I want to take them.
One thing I'll say is, for those of you who are interested, I'm happy we can have some midweek, odd hour live and discuss traveling with firearms if that's important to you guys. Again, it's not a topic for this, but if firearm travel is part of your thing, I'm happy to host such a conversation on some other live in the middle of the week, because I've traveled with firearms forever. I know how to fly with them. I know how to drive with them. I know how to handle traffic stops with them. I teach this stuff. Okay. So it is important, and you need to do it right. So we can discuss all of that on a live. We can have that if that's part of something you need to know to travel with, we can have that conversation.
Well, and the other thing is, like, all right, the thing that people might not know is that Jeffers Motorsports Park in Sykeston has literally 8 tracks within 2 miles of that place. Okay. So even if it doesn't work out for next year to be there, we could literally just go to Beacon and Paducah, or in Benton, Illinois, or there's the other one, Excellicorp, which is in I can't remember. It's just northeast of there. And then if you start looking south, you can go to Jackson, Tennessee, right? It's not far. There's another little track that's in the middle of nowhere called Gleason, Tennessee. They used to call it Tater Town, but it's only about 60 miles from Jeffers, I think. But there's a bunch of places.
And some of these tracks aren't out of the question. Just remember, Jeffers has got some good accommodations, and that's some of the stuff we have to weigh out.
Right.
And hopefully our event, again, remember, participating in this one and making this one all it can be is going to help us have leverage for next year to go to another track. And what it'll do is it'll help us bring up the standard of another track to meet our event, right? So, like, for instance, if you have a little favorite hole in the wall track that you just love, which is great. I love those tracks. I want as many of those tracks to exist as possible. If we can bring them a good proven event and say, hey, we want the track to have this, this, and this, and some things that will help us, like internet and things like that, making this one a success is going to help us make the track better that we can host it at. So
hey, we would have it here, but you don't have shower houses. Oh, we'll go build some. Okay.
That's
now
the
you're
kind
back
of
on
thing.
The table.
That's why we need this year to be good to make next year even better. And we have that with participation. Dizzy wants to do a live from Jeffers. Yeah, we want to have really good internet. And here's the thing. We're going to have really good internet because we're going to pay a mint for it. We're spending way too much on this internet. But guess what? We're doing it because you need it. We need it. You need it. You're YouTubers. You need internet. We do too. Hopefully next year, this won't be a thing. The track will say, hey, if we want to host the No Name Nationals, we need to have good internet for those guys, right? See the difference? That's what we want to keep building on. One success building on another. A good event gives us leverage. Absolutely.
Yeah, you got it.
And you know what else would be really cool too? If another track said, you know what, we're not sanctioned, or we gave up our sanctioning from some other sanctioning body. Man, the AHRA's got it going on. Look at this event they have with all the YouTubers, right? So maybe the AHRA picks up tracks out of this too. There's a lot that's going to benefit us by making this event go off well. Dallas says, do we need to bring a grill or do they have fire pits? Tell them a little bit about fire pits if you're doing.
Well, they do have a fire pit, but it's not necessarily for cooking food. When I was out there before, it was like a bunch of trees had fallen down and they just burned them all up in that one small area. And then sometimes some pallets. But if I was you, I would definitely bring a grill. But here's the neat thing. There's a lot of people coming. And then if you coordinate with somebody, they can bring the grill, you bring some meat, stuff like that. You guys can high five and you get to share all your stuff around. So you may not need to bring all the stuff, right? That's or you just bring a bag of charcoal and burn it up in Brian Brinker's grill when he's not looking.
We got a lot of guys saying they're bringing grills and smokers, and I have a feeling that the food in the pits is going to be great.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, my wife is already loading up, right? When we started talking grills and food, like about 4 lives ago, I still got to go get the grill, but she got a whole bunch of jalapeno smoked sausages, and I mean, they're freaking awesome. So we're going to be cooking them things up. We got some chicken thighs. And then if you've never had Korean short ribs, stop on by and grab yourself a Korean short rib. They're tasty.
I'm going to mooch. Hey, one thing that probably wouldn't be a bad idea is on Thursday, any of you who come in on Thursday, which I know is probably most of you, it seems like overwhelmingly. It's so funny. When we were first planning this, I thought a one-day event would be fine. And Dallas is like, no. People come in, you want to do 2. And he was right. I mean, overwhelmingly. I mean, in excess of 99% are like, yeah, man, 2 days. And then we're saying, well, we got to set up Thursday. Like, oh yeah, dinner cruise is like, there's an appetite for a 3-day event here. Just people don't even blink an eye. So practically do have a 3-day event because Thursday is not official part, but it practically seems like it's becoming that way. So when you come in on the Thursday, plan your food out for Friday. Help pitch in, help contribute so that we don't put the burden on the people cooking, because I want to try a lot of the stuff you guys have, and we'll all chip in to make it fair and help do our part. I would say with the crowd that we have coming, not only will we all do our part and all carry our weight, we're going to leave the place cleaner than we found it. So I'm hoping that this crowd is the kind that will say, you know what, I'm going to pick up more than I left and leave the place clean. And we want that kind of reputation so that, excuse me, in the off season, when Dallas and I are talking to tracks, we can say, hey, the No Name Nationals, we left the place cleaner than we found it. That would be great. Think about what you do this year, because it's going to have a big impact on what we can do next year. And we want to offer you guys for next year all that we possibly can. Who knows? Thursday and Friday might get rowdy. Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah, Dallas is like it's a given guarantee. Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree.
Found out last weekend I can't get too rowdy anymore. I pay for it for like 2-3 days.
We want to leave Jeffers better than we found it. And I'll tell you, Dallas, this is the kind of stuff you guys don't see. So we're out there, Dallas. We're meeting with the cable guy, the internet guy. And Dallas is like, every time I walk through the parking lot, if I see some little piece of stuff, because they keep Jeffers nice, they really do. But if he sees something that blew in there, he picks it up and throws it away. Every time he walks by, he finds something just to pick up. And Dallas is just passively in the background, leaving it better than he found it. If we all do that, I mean, we want to leave it that way. Yeah, not going to be that way. It's going to be clean when you get there, and we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it that way too. It'll be great. What will be the big story when leaving? Well, you guys are going to write that story. That's what the big story is going to be. You're going to write it. This event is going to be whatever the participants make it. If you guys come out and you're rock stars and you have fun and you are kind to people and bring your A game, that's what everybody's going to be talking about the next day. That's simple.
I want it to be like, and John and I talked about this from the beginning, is you see something that you have never seen before, tick that box, right? Yeah. You do something that you've never done before, you tick that box. And you just pick the things that are important, right? I mean, if you think about it, most of the stuff you see, especially around drag racing, is very cliche these days. It's been there, done that, got the t-shirt way back in the 60s. I just don't do it anymore. Well, why not? It's because the fun's gone. And this whole event is nothing but that, right? It's intended to be that for the sake of what makes the sport better. Yeah. You guys are writing the story. We're trying to give you a first-class stage, a first-class set, and you guys are going to write the story. How you conduct yourselves, how you treat each other, what you bring. You're writing the story. And we're hoping that collectively that it's awesome. Yes, they do a good job out there. They do a good job. Yeah. We really deliberated for a good time before settling on Jeffers. I remember Jeffers, we would narrow it down to maybe a top 5 or 6 and then check out a few others. And then we really worked that list down before we decided that Jeffers was the right place. Dallas even looked at some unsanctioned tracks just to make sure that we were in the right place, and we were. Yeah, that's something else that I don't know if you I was talking to, Dallas, the grudge racers. I think a lot of people trying to emulate what they see on TV. That's the biggest problem. Is not. Yeah, that is a problem. Not necessarily the grudge racers, but the attitude that they see on TV that they think is the way it's supposed to be. And that's not the way it was. No, it was the Live on Wednesday, John. The Live on Wednesday. Me and Shane were talking about it. Yeah. Well, I'll give you an example. Ryan from Streetcar Chronicles. Ryan was a street outlaw before Street Outlaws was a TV show. Okay. He was one of those guys. And if you look at him and how he conducts himself
it's completely different than what you see on television. And he's an awesome guy, and he's going to be at the No Name Nationals. And when people get in front of those cameras and behave in ways they wouldn't naturally, that's not good. So we're going to be sportsmen. We're going to be civil and treat each other right. And like I said, you guys are going to write the story.
So RCR is saying, will spectators be allowed in the pits? Yeah, for sure. This is a drag race. That's what makes drag racing unique in its own right.
Yep.
And then it says overnight camping is allowed. Correct. Yeah. You can come out there and camp. If you got a tent, set it up. I'll bet you the first 2 nights there won't be much overnight sleeping in the place, because I'm sure everybody's going to be just kind of hanging out doing their own thing till late morning hours. But this cowboy is going to get some sleep right here, because I'm going to be with John Wilbur the whole next day.
Yeah,
trying to keep the event on track, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be, we got to have some sleep, sorry.
Speaking of gentlemen whose behavior you should emulate, 318 Will Run joined the chat.
All right.
If you want to know how to conduct yourself and you have any questions, look at 318 Will Run. I mean that. You need your beauty sleep. Well, how do we know how beautiful you are? You always.
That's what it is. Yeah. Now we got to make sure that event stays on track. And I'm telling you, if you're all gooned up the next day, that thing goes sideways. It's hard to maintain and just keep it going.
Right.
I'd love it. Me and John, that's the thing, is me and John put together an event that we would love to be at, right? That we would love to participate in.
We built our dream event for you guys.
Right. And then here's the sad thing is we don't really get to participate in it. We have to corral it and organize it and deal with it and put it together and run it. And it's essentially what they call a selfless act, right? Where you're trying to do something for everyone else because it's the right thing to do. And
I think the people that have not gotten this, or who have given us a hard time about it, they can't understand that, yes, I'm not making any money off of this. The money has to pay the bills. I really want something left over for AHRA, because the AHRA is the sanctioning body for us, okay? And I want that to keep growing and helping us. And if there's anything left over for the No Name Nationals bank account, it's going straight into the next year's event. I'm not taking a penny from this, okay? Nothing. I'm not traveling on that money, nothing. It's all coming out of my pocket. Some people have a hard time believing that we would do this just for the sport, just for the competitors, just for the YouTube community, because we actually just care. And I'm telling you that, yes, we really are.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe it, you will believe it come September 30th and October 1st, because that's exactly what's going to happen. And if there's nothing left over in the bank account after all the bills are paid, that's okay. I can live with that just fine. If there's anything left, I don't care if it's 11 cents, it's just going to stay in there for the next event. And if the event gets a little bit of a nest egg to it, to where we can leverage it and do some cool things with it, I'm all for that too.
Well, if you leave 11 cents in there, John, with the way inflation's going, you'll have 10 cents next year.
That's right. Join the AHRA today. Indeed, AHRA.
I've got a lot of support from folks in this community just because of this event. So I mean, I want to thank you guys. That it isn't really going to me. I've taken nothing from this association from the day I started running it 5 years ago. $0, right? The whole goal was for it to maintain itself and eventually one day get it back to where it should be.
Yeah.
The whole story behind the AHRA going away is heartbreaking, right? Like, and if you're not familiar with it, the guy that originally ran it was a guy named Jim Tice, and Jim Tice ended up with pancreatic cancer, and he really didn't have a lot of time to organize a lot of stuff. He also didn't really, I mean, he was a control freak because he had ran this organization for years and years and years. He didn't want to turn it over to just anybody. It had to be somebody that had the association's well-being at heart, right? And it ended up just kind of dissolving once he died. and it should have never went away. If you think about it, there was no IHRA. It was AHRA and NHRA was the two big ones in the heyday. And the only reason it went away was because this guy got cancer and died. That's a sad story. It should never end like that. A legacy.
I'd like to say that we're doing this for the right reasons. Dallas is running the AHRA for the right reasons. I'm organizing this event for the right reasons. I think the YouTube automotive community needed this, and I'm not one of these people who just says, well, somebody should do that, or I wish somebody would come out with this, or somebody do something. I think that's lame. I think that even if you're not the right person to do it, you should never complain about anything if you're not willing to be part of the solution. Even if that part of the solution is getting out of the way, whatever it is, whatever role you need to play in being part of the solution. So I said this needed to exist, and I'm going to be part of the solution. So here we are. We're 28 days away from our content creator homecoming, Super Bowl, whatever you want to call it.
I got an idea here. And I agree with what you're saying there, John. I just saw something that's giving me this crazy idea. Outfit's Garage is saying we're starting to hang the body on the car, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. Go live right after this one and hang that body. See if you can get some subs out of it. I mean, you're getting down to the wire. You guys are coming right to the finish line. I mean, I don't know if you're doing it tonight. I don't know if that's what the intent was. Man, and it's a stock car, right? So they can virtually put whatever kind of body they want on it. I think I'm going to vote for Gremlin.
I don't know what Greenway's asking here. Same as going to a town's cruise night and not donate to the town when you go to the booth to help the fundraising of projects. Well, I'll say this. I think that the town of Sikeston is going to profit off of this. Look how many hotel rooms that we're renting for them. Look how much. Look at the bill.
And fuel and Lamberts and
all the fuel and all the food people are going to buy. I mean, the Sikeston's certainly not going to hurt coming off of this.
And I'll be honest and upfront that GoSimo Fiber, which is a Sikeston-based company, is who I chose for internet. They're giving us 1 gig download and 1 gig upload speed over fiber, right? That's insane. That's ridiculous numbers. John
that was enough service for the Sikeston Rodeo with 50,000 people.
Right. John and I fronted the money out of our pocket to essentially have this stuff installed so that everybody had internet, because we know an event like this can't run without internet. I mean, it's just kind of, if you're putting on a YouTube event, I mean, it's just what happens. It's part of the game. We didn't ask for a dime, right? It was just something that had to happen. It was the right thing to do. So,
yeah. This event has a mission, and that's the way it is. It has to have what it has to have.
Just say, hey, look at that. Outfit's he says he doesn't have much battery left, but he could go live. They're working on that Camaro right now.
You know what? Yeah. So we're going to wrap up here in just over 6 minutes. And you know what? Charge your phone, Outfits. Go live after this, and we'll refer people over there. Your link is still pinned to the top. You need 27 subs. It'd be great if you got it tonight on your live. And I'll extend it to you if you want. I don't know why you'd want to, but you could go live on mine if you want to do it split screen, but go live on your channel. Get those subs if you can. And I got Buff's comment highlighted here. Buff and Punisher Lamons are doing a Pontiac themed live on Thursdays regularly. Thursdays at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. It looks pretty promising. I saw some of their last live they did last night. It's going to be a regular thing, and it looks good. Looks fun. So check that out. And looks like Outfits is going live after us. We're going to wrap up here in just a few minutes. If any of you guys have any questions, now's the time to get them. We got just a few minutes left.
There's Destroyer Eric just popped in. He says, got a half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark out and we're wearing sunglasses. Let's go to the Donate Nationals.
So the cruise night, yeah, we want the locals to come out on the cruise. They're welcome to join. So even if you're not participating, spectating, nothing, you can still come to this. If you're at the gas station across the way and see the crews like, hey, can I join? Yeah, come on. But we're going to be coming over from the track at 6 p.m. local time. We're going to descend on Lambert's for a flash mob car show.
What he means by flash mob is there's no pay, there's no trophies,
no
Show
entry,
up,
no sign
pack
up,
the parking lot with whatever you got wheels on.
That's
right?
it. Bring your wheels and show up.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, that's the idea.
Hang out with a like-minded bunch of people that's probably going to be doing too much stupid stuff, and just enjoying some good Lambert's food and descending upon one of the landmarks of Sikeston, Missouri.
And Lambert's is a big place. It's a big restaurant.
That parking lot is enormous.
It is a huge. So imagine a Cracker Barrel times 4. Okay, it's a big restaurant. It's not small.
And they throw the rolls at you for real.
Yes, they do. You literally will catch your rolls. I didn't fumble any tosses when I was there. I ate 2. You can't eat too many of them. Those rolls are massive. I ate 2 of them. They were good. The rolls, I mean, it's like a softball.
Eric says he's been here listening, got a fistful of dart wiring.
Eric says, let's go to the No Name Nationals. Yes, Destroyer1320.com Theft Deterrent Systems Burnout Competition.
Yeah,
Friday night under the lights. Who does that? We're actually going to be shutting the track down and moving the entire event to the shutdown area for the burnout competition sponsored by Destroyer1320.com. That is going to be a bunch of fun. Burnout competition under the lights.
And the first person to set up an umbrella and a beach chair on Sikeston Beach, I will buy you a drink.
Yeah, towns should love this kind of stuff. A well-run town would, yeah, I agree.
Man, these guys didn't care. We stuck at Lambert's. They're like 200. Okay.
Well, that's the restaurant. We wanted to do a reservation for 100 or so, and like, okay. They said, but we can show up and put it on the list. Yeah, all right. Yeah, if you leave Lambert's hungry, you hate food, man.
That's a lie.
Yes, it's a good spread.
That's why it's a flash mob, right? Because I don't think John and I could afford to get you any trophies or anything after coming out of Lambert's. We would probably be falling asleep.
Dakota, you got here with 2.5 minutes to go. Blake, can you give Dakota a timeout? I miss getting the time Dakota out. He needs it. Dust Devil asking a good question. We're working on that. Stay tuned.
I think it'll be open. We're gonna do what we can to get it open. It wasn't going to be closed by any means. That's actually never been a discussion.
We'll give that in an update, though. We are working on that. There is a 660 saloon on the property.
And the bull will be out. So if you want to test your skills at riding the mechanical bull, it's going to be there. I think they got a shirt that says, "I rode your sister at Jeffers Motorsports Park," because that's the bull's name, your sister.
We just did an entire timeline on that on the last live timeline for events. So we'll hit that again next live because we've only got 1.5 minutes to go. And with 1.5 minutes to go, can we ask for a table of 325 people? Who knows? With that, we got just a little bit to go. Outfits, I'm hoping, is going to go live. So, Russell, if you're going to do it, go ahead and fire it up because we're rolling out. I want to thank the mods, Andy, Joe, Blake, Ari, Fubar, Buzz. Check out the low ET trophy there. If you just came in on the later part of this live, we did trophies in the first few minutes. You get to see all the event trophies except for one. And they're wild. And there is the overall winner of the inaugural AHRA No Name Nationals trophy. That's a legit AHRA national event trophy. So there you go. And the more you participate, the better your chances are to win that thing. And so, Dallas, do you have anything you need to plug?
I don't. I don't like plugging my own stuff, really, but make sure you go to No Name Nationals. Huh?
You got your live with Professor P here.
I do Wednesday nights on the AHRA. It's actually the American Hot Rod Association channel. I do live with what we call Professor P, Shane Polito. He's an engineer for an automotive group in Tennessee, so you can probably figure that out quick.
Western
we do it live Wednesday. We essentially carry the torch from the Wednesday night lives that happened a few months ago. So now they're no longer happening, and so we decided to just carry the torch and do that over on the AHRA channel. So here's your last look at the Best Pit Thrash Award. Get that bad boy.
So last comment I'll highlight just because I can. Unfinished Project is heading to the post office as soon as he gets off work tomorrow. Let him know in the comments if you want to see a shirt like this on him in a video. But anyway, with that, we're out, and we'll see you guys here again soon. Thanks for turning out tonight.
I'm going to get some underwear made with Dart Sport on it.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. But I'll never know, and I hope to never know if you're ever wearing it.
I'm wearing my Dart Sport underwear right now.
Y'all take care. Have a good evening.